So then let's go through the full 2023 Scarefest lineup now it has been fully announced. So then first up, I think it makes sense to go through things that we have returning this year that have already been at the Scarefest event in previous years, which is an awful lot, which I'll go through in a minute, but I'm not going to rant just as of yet. We've got the return of Darkest Depths, which I'm not surprised it returns year after year. I guess not exciting, but it's a maze. We've got the Invitation, which I'll be honest really has surprised me. After the criticism that the Invitation and the Terminal got last year, I didn't think we'd see any Darkfield at the parks this year. The Terminal isn't at Thorpe this year, they've got rid of their Darkfield experience, so it surprised me that the Invitation is returning for Scarefest, but I'm hoping that over this past year the park will have been able to collaborate with Darkfield and evaluate this experience to make it a lot more enjoyable, because Darkfield makes some incredible experiences, and I'm hoping that this year they can really show what Darkfield can do and give us an experience that is on the same caliber as other attractions that Darkfield has, which I know that's a lot to ask, but given that Darkfield is a company which really does know what they're doing, I'm really hoping that this year, now that there's only one attraction to focus on by Darkfield, they will be able to adapt this experience to make it a lot better, but that's just a side tangent and I'm probably completely off. As well as that, we've also got the return of the Attic, another returning scare maze, nothing new there. A bit disappointing, a lot like Darkest Depths, it's just a returning maze. It feels like there's nothing new coming in the way of scare mazes, which is upsetting. As well as that, we have also got Altonville Mine Tours Tiny's Revenge, which it looks as though it's the same maze with some adaptations made as of current, but I haven't been in it yet, so I'm not going to criticise until I've done it. As well as that, we have got a brand new scare zone, Burial Grounds, which is great to see. It's something new for the park, and it's something which I think everybody really wanted to see at the park. It's been an awful long time since we've seen a scare zone. I think it was Toxic Junkyard when it was a scare zone the last time I went in a scare zone at the park, which is an awful long time ago. There probably has been new ones since then, but for me, that was the last one I went in. So it's great to see a new scare zone at the park. It's something new, which is something that I think Towers really needs to push with. Now, I'm not criticising their investments, by the way. I know I've quite a lot in this video said this is not changing and this is not changing, which it does upset me that we're not seeing anything new at the park, but I'm kind of cutting Towers some slack, given that we've got both Nemesis Retrack and Project Horizon. They're going to use up a lot of the park's funding, which is why I'm giving them a bit of a break in terms of new things at the park, but I'm also not gonna fully say, well, it's fine, because when you pay so much money to go into these attractions, you kind of expect there to be something to encourage you to go, something that the park is putting in new, which it kind of feels like a more of a, well, it's October, can we have our money please, here's the same mazes, which is kind of upsetting. But I could be wrong, this event could have been vastly improved this year because we have got some new things, which I'll go on to in a minute. As well as that, we've obviously got the Alton Towers Ancestors, or the Alton Ancestors I think they're actually called, same as previous years. Great thing to have at the park, really good. It's great to have some roaming entertainment within the park, really good to see. Not going to criticise that at all because I really think that's a great thing for the event. And the new attraction, which doesn't seem like a scare maze now that I've read further into it, is Daz Games PANIC. Now this seems to be, from what they've said, a scare attraction and escape room. Now I have a feeling that this is going to be, now this could be completely wrong, it's going to be a lot like a futuristic themed version of what Containment was at Thorpe Park. Now that could be completely off, it might not be anything like that, this is just my stab in the dark from what I've taken a guess at from what I've read, but it seems like it's going to have a very futuristic theme. You've seen in the teaser they said with the rise of AI, this is a completely fitting theme for an attraction or something along those lines. And from what you could see, it looked very futuristic in the editing style that they'd had for the video. And they seem to be utilising a lot of these wristbands that everyone had on, and they were holding it up to certain things within the teaser. So I'm guessing it will be quite futuristically themed escape room with actors sort of thing. Not sure. I'm going to have to do this one before I say what it's like, because although a lot of people have been saying, oh, it's not a scare maze, much like last year when Darkfield was announced and I was really excited, then I'll be honest, a little bit let down after going in them. I feel like this attraction might do the complete opposite, because escape room sort of scare attractions can be really good and can be a really good experience to have at the park, because as I said, a scare attraction will be incredibly subjective. Different people find different things scary, people find different things enjoyable, so it's a very subjective thing, a scare event overall really, isn't it? So it might be something which is quite love-hate, it might be something where I'm completely wrong, it might be awful, it might be great, we don't know really until I've done it. But yeah, excited to see what happens on that front. As well as that, obviously in terms of attractions for the families, you've got Trick or Treat Town, which has returned again this year. Great attraction for the families. I think it's a great thing to have. Towers really does go for the family market, so this is an attraction which is very important for them to have. In CBeebies Land, yes, they have CBeebies Land Monster Ball, and you can obviously walk around the gardens at night, which is a lovely thing to do with rides and everything. That's pretty much the entire lineup I think I've gone through. I think that this is a okay lineup for this year. I'll be honest, I'm not as excited as I thought I would be. I kind of think that the park hasn't put enough on to warrant the amount of money that you have to spend to go. When you consider now that you've got to pay a bundle ticket for all of the mazes and then another 8 quid or 10 quid if you're not a pass holder for Daz Black's Panic, you're nearing the price of an entry ticket to the event. You're nearly doubling your money just to go into the scare attractions when you're paying to go to a scare event. Now, I know that this is more of a rant in that I don't believe that you should pay for mazes when you pay to go to a scare event, but I believe that at least if you're making people pay for mazes, you need to put something on to keep them going. The park needs to, after they've got a little bit more funding, after obviously the retrack of Nemesis is done and Project Horizon's done, I'm really hoping that we see a rejuvenation in this event. So side rant over, I'm probably being way too harsh there. I'm sure it'll be a great event. I'm not gonna judge it too harshly until I go, because it might be great. They may have improved on everything and it's a practically new event, but I'd love to know what you think. What do you think about the lineup? Do you think there's enough new? Do you think that I'm justified in what I say? I'll be surprised if you do, because I'm probably being way too harsh here. I hope I'm not being too harsh, but please do let me know what you think. If you did enjoy this video, please do like and subscribe. It really does make the world of difference and really does help this channel out. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.